guys want to see what happens when you give some people based down in Somerset a VW Transporter and tell them to make it into a Swiss Army knife? Well, let me give you just a slight clue. It involves this. Yeah, welcome to Van Haven. This car, once upon a time, started out as a standard VW Transporter. Then Van Haven got a hold of it and decided to put their 27-piece full carbon body kit on with the merged paint so it doesn't look like just a bolt-on kit. The 20-inch rims, now you may think, oh, it's been lowered. No, this car's actually on air ride. Then they've also done a full conversion on the interior, which we'll get into in just a second. They've done things like smoking the headlights, smoking the rear windscreen, but this is genuinely the smallest part of it. So we've also got the full carbon rear diffuser with the twin pipes that are actually exhaust pipes. Obviously it's a diesel, so they can't make it sound any better, but they can certainly make it look better. So right off the bat then, let's talk about some of the modifications that Van Haven have done. Straight off then, the 27-piece full carbon fibre body kit for this vehicle makes it look wild. But all I've liked that they've done about this car is the fact that they've merged the paint with the carbon, so it doesn't just look like carbon then paint, it's actually really clean. It's sitting on Van Haven's 20-inch rims, and you may notice this is a bit lower. That's because this is on air ride. But if we follow round back to the rear, you can also see the side skirt in carbon, and then you have this, the ridiculous rear splitters. Now, yes, these are real exhausts. Okay, so before we step in then, the interior of this car hasn't been finished. This car is actually their test and development vehicle, so there will be some bits that haven't been finished, such as the seats, but you guys will see what I mean in just one sec. Right then, if we open the door, the first thing you're greeted by is the VW very pretty steering wheel that has been retrimmed in leather and Alcantara with this awesome yellow stitching. And then if we look up, you will see Alcantara headliner. You'll also notice this. This is the electronic dash out of a Golf R that has been retrofitted, and it's quite funny because when you press the cruise control, a little Golf R pops up. Looking around the interior more then, you have such things as this has been repainted. This is all in black now instead of that sort of tacky silver. You also have the seat belts. Now, as I said, as the seats haven't been done, you can see the colour scheme will be black leather and yellow stitching. Stepping into the combi area, we are greeted with this. Just 3 simple seats. Now remember, this is going to be rear upholstered, but this folds down and then the rear wall folds down to turn into a very nice bed, which we're going to do that in just one second. But now I want to hop to the boot and show you guys something very clever indeed. So if we take a step into the back of the Van Haven truck, you'll notice a few very clever details. Now, I know it's messy in here, but actually this is their storage unit, which is very clever considering that wall folds down and your bed is here. Then you have storage underneath. Now we'll pull that out in just one second. But they've also installed these lights, which means that when you are, sitting outside and relaxing, you've got 2 lights that actually light up where you're eating and things like that. So, I think it's about time we pulled this storage unit out so I can show you just how much storage there is and then show you some of the amazing features on the inside of this vehicle. So then, to get the storage compartment out, you've got 2 latches, one here, one here. You pull this out, it keeps coming. Now look, that is enough for a week's stuff. That is a week's stuff for me. That's one person. So if you had 2 people in here, even 4 people, you would have so much space, it's ridiculous. Now, the key feature of this is the sleeping arrangement, because it is a combi van. Now, most combi vans only have the single double bed on the bottom, but thanks to Van Haven, they've got their carbon roof tent, that is actually a tent made of carbon fibre on the top that when it lifts up is this big sheet of carbon. So first of all, let's get the bed ready and then we'll lift the roof up. So the first thing to get the bed ready is you need to fold the seat down. There is a little pull cord here in which you can pull. Now that's down, that's step one. Now you can either remove the headrests, which give you a bit more space, or you can leave them on. For now, I'm going to leave them on just because filming, I've only got one other person here, it's a bit of a palaver, but you guys get the picture. So, step two, you will see these ropes, an ingenious design from Van Haven, but we're going to get the camera inside so I can run through a few more bits. So, step two, now you've got these seats down, you want to undo these. That will let this board slide down. Now, that is not how you sleep. What you have to do, you have to lift this bit up, let it slide forwards, and then you've got to do the mattress. To fold the mattress, all you do is you fold one layer over, then you lift this up, pull the back bit out, and boom, you have yourself a double bed. Now, you've just seen me make that bed ready. Now, what Van Haven have done brilliantly is installed this little switch just here, and that now switches on the interior lights. To get this roof up then, the first thing we need to do is grab the key for the roof. Now this key unlocks the front hooks. Van Haven have very cleverly hidden the screw under the sun visor. Now, unscrew that. That is undone. We do that for both sides, of which you can do from the driver's side as well. Now we need to head to the back. Stepping into the back, then you will notice these two thingamajiggies. Now if we undo this and undo the other one, which I'm going to do now, just like that, you have this big screw here. Because this has a double bed up here, they have installed this little hatch so that you can effectively have privacy in both beds. But for this video, we're going to undo that hatch here, which you want to reach over and just give it a little wiggle.
A few moments later.
So how about that then? You now have a viewing platform or another double bed or just a sun deck. Now I know what you're thinking, cool, there's not much headroom. Yeah, but that's if there's someone sleeping up here. If there isn't, I can stand up. Now if you want a double bed up there, all you have to do is bring the headroom up. Now I am no light person, but I will climb up there and show you that it is perfectly fine. Now I'm up here, you can now see the reason why the hatch is quite important, because let's face it, we've all accidentally nearly rolled out of bed before, and I think that fall would hurt. So if you're not using it as a bed, then you can use it as a viewing platform. You undo that, and there you have it. That is Perspex, so it does have, like, you know, waterproofness, and then you also have such features as a window, which when you open up, you have a mosquito net, but it lets some fresh air in. Obviously, even if you're not using the double bed up here, you can still use this fishnet to let a bit of air in. Now with these sorts of vans, you don't have a lot of space. I'm not here saying, don't worry guys, you've got endless space. You don't. But it's how you use the space that you have to maximise, you know, utilities. You know, a swivelling chair, make the driver's seat turn around, gives you an extra seating area. A table, you're probably wondering how do you fit a table? Let me show you. They've actually installed a table leg just behind this seat here. So this pops out. Now this probably doesn't seem like a table at the moment, but when you fold it out and place it on the floor, and we go around to the back, you'll start seeing what I'm talking about. When it comes to optimizing space, Van Haven have done a bloody good job. So we have the bed arrangement still on. Just round here, you have a tube. I think you guys know where I'm getting at. Look like anything? Sticking this in there.
That's what she said.
Now you're probably wondering, well, that's not a table. This is where it gets cool. Now behind the chairs then, you also have this, a slide out tabletop. How about that for utilizing space? Suddenly, you click that on there, and you have a sturdy picnic table. Now, obviously, it's a bit slidey because it's on here, but if you think about it, this was once just a normal van, and you're now talking about, you know, going camping in it, using it for lots of different purposes. Now you're probably thinking, well, you can't get this inside. Oh, but you can.
That's what she said.
So the first step of turning this seat into a captain's chair, meaning it turns around, is leaning the chair forwards. I've done that because, well, you guys know what a leaning chair forwards looks like. Then you lift a little lever, you give it a turn, all of a sudden, you've got yourself a captain's chair. Step one of getting the table ready. Now all of a sudden, you've got an in-van office where you can edit your low-quality YouTube videos for about 600 people to watch. So now we've been given special permission, as in Zach's garage just thinks he can get away with somehow driving around a closed Lasath circuit. I'm genuinely not sure how, but we've seen a couple of people on push bikes and a few random cars driving around, so we're just going to push our luck and have some fun. So let's do it. Here we go then. So we are exiting the pit lane, if you will. We're going to come up to the Dunlop Bridge. This feels very wrong, but very fun nevertheless. So we're going to, dear Van Haven, I wanted to say that one of your vans had been around Le Mans. Up through the S's. And may I say, the airbags in this car do really make it handle rather well. So, we're not even going to try and do the Bugatti circuit, we're actually going to try and do the full circuit. Now I don't know the circuit at all, very well, but yeah, this seems very wrong. But there's a crow here, they must be able to do it. This now seems like we're getting onto the Mulsanne straight, I think. Now, Francis, do we keep going? Yeah? Okay, alright. So, I'm being egged on by a friend of mine. Why not? And there's the gate. Okay, so that wasn't as crazy as we thought. Okay. But nevertheless, this is now the entrance to the Mulsanne, and yeah, I wish I had a Ferrari to do this, but nevertheless, if you're going to do it in a van, why not do it in the greatest van, I would say, ever made. So we have ended the vlog at the Le Mans circuit with the Van Haven van. It is now officially the end of Le Mans for me, but until next year, and maybe Van Haven may even lend me another car to do some equally cool stuff with. So until then, I'll see you soon. Cheers.